All right, so there it is. We are live. We're live on Instagram. Again, we're live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook. We are live on all the things. And so what I want to talk to you guys about tonight, all right, is the market sell-off. And not necessarily, well, we're going to dive into the market sell-off and what that whole, thing, not necessarily what it was about, but what it should mean to you as a trader. And what it should mean to you if you're not trading, if you're just kind of watching this thing from the sidelines, because some of you may be thinking, glad my money wasn't in the market or anything like that. And so I just want to break down how you should be thinking about the market sell-off, what to do next, and, what we talk to our members about. So welcome on Instagram, welcome on YouTube, welcome on Facebook. We are live everywhere. Over here on Instagram, we got Shuey. Jay Girl, Texas 69 is in the building. Abigail joined us. So welcome. And then over here on Facebook, if you are watching live, just go and hit the thumbs up, hit the heart emojis, send us some love. Let us know you are in the house. And we're going to be breaking down all things about the market. All right. Not about the market, but about the market sell-off. And then on YouTube, my friends watching over here on YouTube, glad to have you. So let's dive into it. So recently we had this market sell-off. And if you're on Instagram, you won't be able to see my screen when I show it in a minute, but just, follow my voice. But on YouTube and Facebook, you can see it. So we had this quote unquote market sell-off. And here's what's interesting. If you take nothing else, I want to make sure I get this out in the first 120 seconds or 2 minutes, just in case you don't watch the entire broadcast. But the thing that I want you to take from this is stop watching the news. All right. Stop watching the news. All right. So one of the things that you have to think about the news media job, you have to break down what their job is. And the reality is the news and media job is to do that, create news and create media to get the ratings up for their TV show. So what does that mean to you as the individual sitting at home wondering what's going on with the stock market? Here's the thing. What type of news sells? Does anybody know, what type of news sells? Is it good news or bad news that sells? Type it in the box. If you're on Instagram, type it in the box. Good news or bad news sells. If you're on YouTube or Facebook, does good news or bad news sell? That's all I want you to type in right now. Which one sells? Okay. The answer should be very clear. If you watch the news, which one sells? All right, Gene over here on YouTube says bad news. Thank you, Gene, for participating. Let's see. More people should be typing it. All right, bad news. Daryl Collins over here on Facebook says bad news. Exactly. All right, and then Instagram, my Instagram people, maybe your fingers are broke. All right. They're not typing over here, but the reality is, or maybe they're coming over here to Facebook so they can see the screen share. All right. So Sean Stewart says bad news. Daryl Collins, bad news. Lavelle, bad news. Wandy on YouTube says bad news. Gene says bad news. Awesome. So here's the thing. Bad news sells if you did not know. And so the newscaster's job is to say oh, the market's pulled back and everything is down and it erased all the gains for the year. Well, technically we're only 30 days into the year. So that sounds more dramatic than it really is. 2 days wiped out the entire gains for the year. Well, we only 30 days into the year. So don't buy into the hype. And so the reality is, guys, you need to stop watching the news. I never get my financial information from the news. In fact, if you're getting your financial advice or information from the news, chances are you're too late. Chances are you're late to the party because they're only reporting on it after it happened. But here's the thing. Most newscasters do not know what to do with that information. All they know how to do is to make you scared. So what do I mean by that? Have you ever seen a newscaster say the market is down, Here's why, and here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm thinking about doing with my account. I'm thinking about buying. I'm thinking about selling. I'm thinking about applying this option strategy. Has a newscaster ever done that? Has a newscaster ever talked about what strategy that they're getting ready to apply after whatever happened with the market? I'll give you another secret that if you watch the news, pay attention to what they do. One of the things that the newscasters does is newscasters are, because they're not investment people, they're not trading any money. That is a job for them. If you notice, not just newscasters, but most of their guests, they always give you a neutral response. If you haven't noticed, they always give you a neutral response. So what does that mean? They say, well, the market's pulling back. And say, so what should people do? They say stuff like, well, people should really be cautious about their investments. They should be thinking about the long term. And, and this is just a perfect example of why you need to make sure you pick your investments carefully. Okay, we already knew that, Sherlock. Like, you should always pick your investments carefully. You should always be planning what you're doing. So, like, they always give you neutral news. You know what I'm saying? Because they're technically not traders. They're not investors. And so they don't know what to do in a market pullback or in a bull market. In fact, when the market comes back and rallies, what do the newscasters say? We knew it. This turned out to be a great buying opportunity. It's like, of course you knew it, right? After it happened, okay? They always know what happened after it happened, but it's us. It's real traders in the trenches. We have our money to work, and we have to navigate, number one, our emotions. We got to control fear. We got to control greed. If you're somebody like me who's sharing this information with other people, you also have to be the rock for the community and say, all right, here's where we're going next from this drop. Here's how we mitigate the risk. Here's how we try to turn this loss into a positive and make some money. So here's what I want to do. First, I want to tell you again, stop watching the news. If you're getting your investment information from the news, you're in the wrong place. They're always late to the party, and they only jump on whatever train is leaving the booth at the time. If stuff is down, they go jump on that train. The market's down, stay away from it. When things are good, they're going to be like, the S&P can't lose. Everyone should be investing. It's like, hold on. Last week you told me stay away from it, right? If you think about the real estate bubble or the real estate crash, and I'm going to share my screen and just share high level some stuff. I know the Power Trade members, we did a full video on what's coming next and what trades to look at. But here's the thing. Whatever train is leaving next, that's the train that they jump on. But when you think about the real estate bubble, when the real estate market was like down, what was the news telling everybody to do? Stay away from houses. Don't buy anything. This market is crazy. But what were the Warren Buffetts doing? What were the Dan Gilberts doing? What were they doing? You just type it in the comments. What were the billionaires and the millionaires doing while the news was telling everybody to stay away, right? Instagram, what was you type it in to? YouTube, type it in. Facebook, type it in. What were the billionaires like Warren Buffett, Dan Gilbert, who's here in Detroit, has Quicken Loans, owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers. What were they doing? That's right. Shannon Schaefer on YouTube, buying it up. Sean Stewart, buying out the store. You guys got it. Mike Anthony putting it down. And then, that's Facebook. I'm sorry. Over here on YouTube, we got Gene saying, buying the dip. Alan saying, yes, buying. Love Light said, got to pay the heating bills. I don't know where that came from, right? Wandy says they were buying, all right? And then over here on Instagram, we got a couple people hanging out. So here's the thing. They were buying when everybody else was doing what? When everybody else was panicking and selling, okay? They were buying. Anthony Allen jumped in and show you, I hope I'm saying the name right, buying. That's what they were doing. They were buying. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to switch over to my chart over here on this screen. If you're on Instagram, you won't be able to see that. Maybe I'll turn the phone around so you can see it. And then let's talk about how you should be looking at this thing going forward. All right. So let me switch here and then boom, Instagram. I'm going to turn you to face the screen. Hopefully you can see that there. All right. So look at the overall market, and I want to go back to, because this is so important for you to get, guys. This is so important for you to get. If we go back to, if we go all the way back to, what's this, 2000, the market crash of 2008. Let me zoom out. Okay, here we go. If we go back to the market crash of 2008, let me move my drawing tool over here. If you look, what happened, this right here, this was the crash of 2008. You can see down here, 2008, November, and then 2009 kicked in. So when that crash happened, what were all the news people? I won't say the experts, but what were the news people saying? The news people were like, don't buy the stock market. Don't get involved. Don't do anything. This is the worst time. Well, funny how the absolute worst time, according to the news people, was the absolute best time to get involved. Do you see that? Do you see the irony in that contradiction right there? The news people say, hey, don't get involved right here. It's the worst time ever. Funny, that turned out to be the best time to buy, and the market hasn't looked back since. Okay, now let me zoom in a little bit. Look at this trajectory. Okay, for the last, I don't know what, 8 years, the market has gone from down here to way up here. But what happens when we get 2 days worth of pullbacks? I just find it so funny that these little 2 weeks right here, this is a weekly chart. This little 2 weeks right here, all of a sudden, the market is over. The worst day in the market ever. Well, how in the world could they say that when you zoom out? How could they say that when you zoom out and the market has been on a tear for the last, 8 years, almost 10 years? So how can they say because of a little 1 week little action, they're like, oh, it's the worst time ever? Now, let me ask you a question. Everybody watching, let me ask you a question. Does the market pull back? Does the market pull back? Does the market pull back? Okay. You would be a fool to think that the market, I'm going to make it a different color. The market doesn't go straight up like you're shooting off a bottle rocket on the 4th of July. All right. It doesn't just go straight up into the sky. All right. No, it doesn't do that. The market has ebbs and flows. You see the red ones, it pulls back. The green one, it moves higher. It moves higher. Okay. Now let me ask you something. Do you see more red or do you see more green on the screen? Okay. And so I just want to make it as plain and simple as possible. The market goes up and it pulls back in a bona fide uptrend. It does not just go straight up in the air. So what does that mean for you, me, and everybody else? That means every stock that you wish you could have bought up here but was too expensive, I got one word for you. It's on sale. All right? It's on sale. My Instagram people, are you with me? Is that making sense? All right. I'm going to bring this back to me just in case. All right. So everything you wanted to buy that was too high to buy up here, you now have a great opportunity. So here's what the market is telling you. Hey, you, if you missed this breakout from December, right here, December 17th, this thing broke out and ran, what is this? From 2,685 all the way up to 2,875, almost 2,000 points, okay? And almost 2,000 points or something like that move, or I don't know, 200-point move, whatever the move is. The point is, the move was drastic. I think it was 200 points, right? You missed this like 200-point run. Well, guess what? You got another shot at it. Now, here's the thing. We talked about this in our coaching program. We talked about the market falling probably back here to support and bouncing, if not coming back down to its channel. Well, today we got that bounce. So we are looking at, let me bring my regular screen back up here. All right. So we in the community, in the Power Trades University community, right? We're looking for new trades. We're looking for some things to put money to work on right now. And guess when the news is going to tell you it's time to put money to work? If you're watching on Instagram, YouTube, guess when they're going to tell you? They're going to tell you it's time to get back in after the market has already rallied, okay? That's when they're going to tell you when it's time to get back in. So the market is a game of controlling your emotions. And I think the thing is, people fear losing money. I think money is most people's master, okay? And so rather than them controlling the money and controlling their emotions, all they can think about is, I don't want to lose money. I don't want to lose money. I don't want to lose money. But if you look at the long-term trajectory of the overall market, is it up or down? The market is up. So if you just give yourself enough time, you'll be right, even if you're not the smartest trader in the world. But then if you apply strategies like option strategies, learning how to read the stock chart, determine the best times to buy and sell, you can get some unprecedented returns in this market. Now, here's the thing I want to share with you. I shared with my members my trading account, and I shared with them. I was down 70, 80,000, something like that. I don't know what the number was. I was down as much as 100 grand with the market sell off, but this is not the time to panic. This is the time to rely on your skills. This is the time to put more money in, at least in my opinion. All right. This is how I manage my account. It's time to grab some more shares of some things that I wanted. And then once we ride the wave back out, we'll be doing another profit and loss recap and showing you what happened after we came out of this major sell-off, which really turned out to be a great buying opportunity. But most people getting the information from the news. And so the other thing that's key about being part of a community. Yes, I'm plugging and talking about Power Trades University because most people are going at the market alone. You're going at it by yourself. And so when these sell-offs or these pullbacks, opportunities to buy at a better price happen, most of you don't know what to do. Most of you scared, you nervous, or you talking to your broke friend who like, see, that's why I don't invest. But I just showed you the market been on a tear for the last 10 years. And most people will let 1 week of a little pullback say, that's why I don't invest. And I think that's absolutely ludicrous especially when, for example, myself, we made $140,000 just in January. And so even though I was down 100,000, I was still net positive like 40K, but we're on the swing back up. And then we hope to get back on track to our goal to do 100,000 profit every month for the next 12 months. We'll see. That's our goal this year. So it's very interesting what the news will tell you, and then the difference in opinion that you'll hear when you're part of a community of traders, a part of a community of people who understand the market and think like the millionaires and the billionaires and understand when it's time to actually get involved when everybody else is being scared. And the reality is, if my Power Trade University members are on here, the truth is, I know you guys who aren't in the community don't know this, but the truth is, last week I was beating the table saying what, guys? I was saying we should sell and we should lock in our profits because these stocks had already done what we thought they were going to do. So in theory, we shouldn't have been in the market all in to even get ate up by this big pullback because we closed out a lot of our trades and took our profit. So it's an exciting time right now. I'm gonna tell you like this. It's an exciting time in the market. This pullback is nothing but opportunity. And I figured the news and media people, they jump online. They want to say what they want to say about the market. I said, I'm going live and I'm sharing with my people my thoughts on the market. And my thoughts is stop watching the news. All right. Get in a circle of people that are actually trading, actually investing, actually putting their own real money at risk. And they're not doing this for ratings. All right. Get in a community like that. Get around other people that you can bounce ideas off of when the market is up and when the market is down, as well as get around people that can tell you when it's time to sell and don't be greedy. Am I making sense? So that's what I want to leave you with. And if you got any questions, any comments, drop them below in the chat, whether you're on Instagram, whether you're on YouTube or whether you're on Facebook, and I'll be sure to come in and chat with you after after I end the live broadcast. And if you want to check out what we got going on, you can always visit powertradesuniversity.com and see how you can become a part of the membership. So thanks for hanging out with me. Over and out. And remember, stop watching the news.